process. We cannot execute people in this country without, getting an indictment, getting an arrest, that sort of stuff. You can't even seize property overseas or anything else without notice, due process, and the like. This guy is a U.S. citizen. We don't like what he says. We don't have any indication that he personally has killed or harmed anybody. There are other people who say he's inspired them to that. We brought that. The Obama administration and the executive branch said, this is not a role for the judiciary. This is war. We are at war. Well, we are not at war in Yemen. No one has ever said we're at war in Yemen. There's no congressional authorization for that. The position of the United States is we are at the global war on terror has been approved by Congress, and Congress hasn't limited us. Therefore, if we feel threatened by anybody, any place, any time, we have the legal right to assassinate them. And Congress can't do anything about it. There's no role for the judiciary in it. It is totally up to us to do the right thing as we see fit. And the courts agreed with them. The court said, this raises some troubling questions, et cetera, but they essentially chickened out and said there's not a role for the judiciary in this. We were representing Mr. Al-Waqi's father, who had taught at, I think, Nebraska and in Arizona. The son was a U.S. citizen, grew up in the United States. And the family said, please do not appeal this case anymore because we're afraid that by us trying to exert his constitutional rights and our rights, that we're making it more dangerous for him. And as we know, the United States did kill him. They ended up killing his teenage son at a different strike, and they killed another member of his family. And so in terms of the law, the way it stands right now is the president, whoever the president is, has, by our U.S. system, has the unchecked ability from Congress or the courts to make these decisions and to execute them as they see fit.
And how can we change that?
Well, I think we can change that by making Congress and the executive branch and the judiciary understand that this is a concern of people. I think that they have taken the temperature of the people in this country, and they believe that most people in this country say, look, we're scared. Whatever you got to do, if it's at another place, another time, as they said about drones, the drone issue is actually mostly accepted in the United States because people say, well, we don't put our soldiers at risk. Not about this, that we're killing civilians. It's just that it's not our soldiers that are at risk, so that is a mechanical computer joystick sort of thing. But it is wildly unpopular every place else in the world, which was part of the fundamental bedrock thing of all law is the golden rule, right? Whatever, that if it's fair for you, it's fair for us. That we learned in kindergarten and is the basis of everything. And we would never allow any country to do this to us. We would never do it in a country that's big enough to be able to do something back to us. We would never allow it to happen, in Louisiana or other places like that. So if we wouldn't allow it here, which is, again, the essential thing of international law, is that we are supposed to respect other countries' abilities to do those things themselves. And as a consequence, it is just pure lawlessness at this point. And the only change will come is when the President, the Congress, the judiciary thinks that people, in fact, care about it. Now, it's a small group of people that care. And we're all individually and organizationally trying to figure it out. I analogize it to maybe the people who were fighting against slavery in 1820. Maybe we didn't win. Slavery wasn't outlawed for some time, and even once it was. But is it right? Are these the things that we should stand up for and organize and put maybe we're 10 years away, maybe we're 2 years, maybe we're 20 years. But it's wrong. We know that it's wrong, and we have to do something about it.